Hello, welcome back to Red's TV. All the banners and racing stickers you see in my garage and all the other stuff, I am not sponsored by. I got the plug wires back on there, and I did have one crossed. I had 6 and 3 crossed, so I went back and did it. Got the plug wires kind of nice and neat, wire tied up back there. And what I'm going to do is finish buttoning this up. If you ever need to adjust the idle, right there you pop the little plug out. They got a little cap plug stuck in there, and you pop it out, and it's got a Torx bit T25 to adjust the idle on it. I'm not sure what this is supposed to idle at. I'm going to have to look it up. But anyway, get the cap, get the breather and stuff back on it. Breather box, nut. This right here is kind of like one of those special little bits, but 10 millimeter, fit right on there, snug it up. Got a bolt down, the little plastic bolt down here. $10mm nut right here. Light it up a little bit. You don't want to get that too tight, it's plastic. Then the air filter, it's actually pretty good. Stick it back on there. You can blow it out if you want to. You gotta make sure you watch the little clips, don't fall off like this. You can put it back on there. And this just pops on there, and that sets onto the throttle body. And don't forget your hose going for the valve cover. And your little nut. Pop the clips. And this one. Put there. I got it snapped in there. There, it's on there. We'll start her up now. Got a little squeaky belt, needs a belt. You can tell it runs a lot better now. It's got a full clutch on the clutch fan. Clutch fan. Durango's really bad for clutch fans. Yeah, it's a non-thermal clutch fan. And the firing order right there looks like it's a Chevrolet firing order. 1843655. 5.9. I think they put 2 different motors in these, or maybe 3. But it's like falling down a little bit. Usually a lot of people rip them off. Well, we're getting ready to. I'm gonna pull this in, jack her up. We're gonna change the oil in it for it's starting to get a little chilly out here. And tomorrow I'm gonna use this garage, so I ain't gonna. Well, I might just leave it jacked up anyhow. All right. Now we're gonna pull her back in. Back it up a little bit. Push it back. Well, it's got plenty of room here. All right, let me get the jack and stuff, and we'll get back to it. All right, before we get started here, get the crescent wrench, tighten up the little nut a little bit, snug it up. Then you always want to put oil in your oil filter. This is the reason McQuick's Oil Lube ain't in business. They blowed up so many turbo cars. The Quaker State McQuick's Lube and Oil. Every time you start your motor up and nobody puts oil in this oil filter, it's a dry start. It ruins motors. It's bad. Also, always put a little never sees on the rubber here. Just a little bit. It ain't gonna hurt. If you ever had to get one of these off, you will know why. And you take your oil, and I think it holds 6 quarts. I didn't buy this oil. The person owns the Durango. They're the one that bought it. And you take it, and you fill the oil filter up. You fill it up, make sure it's got plenty of oil. I'm telling you, dry start, you don't want nobody. Dry start your motor. All these quick change, oil change places, man, they're engine killers over a matter of time. Nobody wants to listen to this. In a turbo car, supercharged car, you'll blow it up. Guarantee it. Okay. You got 2 options here. You got the jaws of life, known in auto mechanics, for the oil filter, and this. These poke holes in oil filters, but sometimes you have to. I don't know if you ever air chiseled an oil filter off and had problems and rip them. Well, it's not too fun. And in auto mechanics class, Mr. Cottle, my auto mechanics teacher, back in the day when you had to grease cars, if a grease man ain't using a bunch of grease rags, he ain't doing his job. But now cars ain't got grease fittings. So, let's go under here and try to get this so I can see set up. The Durango has a bunch of shields under it. A bunch of shields. Get my rag because it's going to run down your arm. Let's see here. Okay. Now the Durango, the 5.9, it's got an access hole right here. But you can actually go up through here It's 5/8. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Man, it's on there too. Get good grip. Don't bust. Ah, there it goes. Yeah, that's on there. Now, hopefully it don't shoot all over this shield and make a mess. It probably will. But that's what floor dry is for. Stupid idiots. It probably is. I remember. Oh no, believe it or not, it hits right the hole. And let me get a rag. Oil spray black. Well, I got floor dry. If I'd have did it the other way, I'd have missed the hole. I think the Durango holds 6 quarts. I forget. But I got floor dry for this. Maybe it holds 5, I don't know, or the engine's low. Okay, now the oil filter. I'm going to use this. Always put jack stands under your vehicle. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Yeah, rust falling in your face. Yeah, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Thank God this is coming loose. I didn't need a jaws of life. There it is. Well, that drained pretty quick. Yeah, you always want to warm your motor up a little bit. And when you take an oil filter off, you always want to make sure that this rubber, see, the rubber stayed on there. And if I would have put the oil filter back on, this thing would have been pouring oil. Fram is one of the worstest oil filters you want to use, by the way. Yeah, you always want to make sure this ring is off there with the oil filter. It will shoot fluid everywhere. So I always make sure this ring is not on the oil filter, or not on the oil filter when I put the new one on. Then you want to wipe it off. Like I said, I'm going to go up there and get the oil filter. Get the oil filter that I filled oil up. I'm going to top it off. Oil changing is a kind of a nasty job. Oh yeah, and you always got to make sure you got a creeper. If you got a long ponytail, you get them funny looking creepers out there. That thing will rip your hair out. As you can tell, I do fill the oil filter up full of oil as much as possible, a couple, 3 times. You don't want to cross thread this either. It's kind of hard with your hands all oily and slippery once you get her started. Wipe the oil filter off. Get all the oil, excess oil off there. Yeah, MicroGuard from O'Reilly's is a pretty good oil filter. If you cut them apart and watch the results on the YouTube channels, what the best filter is, Fram's one of the worst. I mean, Fram is one of the worst. So you get the oil filter all wiped off. I used to work on school buses. And I'd change oil filters, and there's this one guy, every time I changed oil on these school buses, and school buses hold a lot of oil, and actually he had a diesel, it had 2 oil filters on it, and every time I changed oil, he'd complain that said, oh, my oil filter's leaking, but actually, oh, dust and dirt in the face. But I got my glasses on. Rust. Every time I change that oil filter, it'd have a little rundown. I'd have to drive all the way to the bus compound and wipe his oil filters off. And I mean, I'd clean them, but where you fill the oil filters and it sits on top. I forget his name. I forget what bus number it was, too. Yeah, I used to work on school buses for 4 or 5 years. Mary Jo was the person. Actually, my oil filter wrench is kind of slipping because it's oily. It ain't actually as tight as I'm making it, but you want to get it. You want to get it snug. You don't want to have the oil filter fly off on you. This stupid oil filter wrench is a piece of crap. And there ain't much room up there. You're just slipping. I think it's almost tight enough. I need a swivel handled oil filter wrench, really, but you really don't want to use the jaws of life to put an oil filter on. Oh crap! I think it's tight enough. Yeah, it's tight. You don't want to get them too tight. You want to go back up there, make sure there ain't no oil on the oil filter, wipe it off. Yeah, you kind of really need a curved one. Then you put this back in. My hat's falling off. Gotta find a hole. Where's that? All right. So, don't cross thread this either. The Durango, it's got a lot of pans on it, boy. They even service transmission or do anything. You got to take all these pans off of it. It's kind of really good how they did these Durangos. It's kind of rusted under here. Like I said, people don't wash their vehicles in the salt. That's kind of why this thing needs brake lines. And this, you just tag it and tighten it up. Tighten it up, just snug it up, don't over tighten it. Let me wipe my hands off with a clean rag. Oh. I'll clean my mess up here in a minute. You gotta get an oil filled, the oil goes oil cap. It's got one of those clickers on it. Ah, stupid cap. I ain't gonna say nothing like it. Boy, you're a crappy cap. It's like a gas cap. Now I can't get the cap off. Oh, this is fun. See owner's manual. Oh, this is great. Oh, the cap just broke. Oh, Jesus. What a junky setup. Let's get the vice grips. You'd always pour it down the PVC hole. There it comes. Junky ratchet caps. Somebody's probably ain't had the oil, took their oil off. Truthfully, I guess you could JB weld it. That's probably what I'll do. Junky caps. I don't know. Wear a good old chrome metal cap or something like that. I don't know. When you get my filter, I mean a funnel. Fill her up. This is 5 quarts. I guess that's what Riley said recommends. 5W30. Which I don't know. But I'm sure it holds 6 quarts. I can't remember. I gotta look it up. But truthfully, you just want to get it on the ground. We'll start it up in the air. Make sure it don't leak. And it ain't shooting out the oil filter there. And then get it on the ground, start it up, run it for a little bit, check it, and add to it if it has to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here and I'm going to leave it on jack stands because I'm going to have to mess with the front brakes. I got to put front brakes on it. I put new metal lines on it, but I've got to put the rubber lines on it and bleed it. Then I'm going to put the rear brakes on it and wheel cylinders. I put a bunch of new metal lines on it. And the reason it needs metal lines is because people drove this in the salt and never washed the underneath this truck off. Never. It still needs a bunch of washing under here. I can't stress enough how it's just important to wash the underneath your vehicle as is the outside. Well, these people only think really wash the outside of it too much. Because this actually ain't a bad looking Durango. It just needs cleaned up. I mean, I can barely keep my cars clean. I got 5 cars. Yeah, I mean, I should have a fender cover on it. Usually, in a little better vehicle, I would. But I don't got no scratchers or nothing on it to scratch. Nothing. And then what I do, I pour the oil back into the oil jugs, because I also got 5-gallon jugs, and I take them to O'Reilly's and give them back their oil. But I usually buy my oil at Royal King. Royal King's oil is a lot cheaper. I mean, you can buy name brand stuff a lot cheaper. Because, for example, O'Reilly sells 2 quarts ATF for GM, $23.99 for 1 gallon. Yeah, it's 1 gallon for $23.99. You can go to Royal King and get 2 gallons for $17.99. It just depends if they got it or not. But O'Reilly's does price match. So I'm gonna have to JB weld a cap together, I guess, or see if you can buy a cap for it, because that cap is junk. So basically, I'll take my old oil, pour it back in there, and take back to O'Reilly's. And I will be fixing this cap, you know, ain't no biggie. So I'll just screw this in there a little bit, you can get it back out. You always want to look at this too on the bottom of the cap. If it's got a bunch of condensation in it and stuff, especially chrome valve covers, or if you got a head gasket blowed, that's a good time to tell. And also smell. You smell the oil, if it smells burnt, something's actually wrong, kind of like the transmission fluid. I'll just screw this back in here. That way, if I accidentally start it up. But I'm gonna end this video changing oil. I'm gonna clean my mess up, put some floor dry down, pour it in there. Please like, subscribe my channel, and I'll be making more videos on this and my truck. Get this Camaro, I gotta put a battery in it and get it, take it to the gas station. Thank you.